What up, everybody? It's TheConstitutionState here. I found a video the other day of something that happened in Connecticut a couple of years ago, and I completely forgot about it until I saw the video. And then I watched it. And then I looked into it. And then I looked into the department. And it's crazy. It just seems like they're always getting in trouble. Like, the stuff, there's two videos here. Cop just attacks a suspect. Then the next one, cop open fires into a car. Unarmed people. Let's not forget these videos are not to make fun of police or belittle police. It's just to show that police make mistakes like this on a daily basis, everywhere, all across the country. And they need to be held accountable. It's to show people what's really going on.
What's going on? All right. My family, you mother. Hey. Let go. Hey. Let go. You go back. Let go. You piece of man. You're gonna hurt my wife, bro. Let go. Mother. Go. Let go. Bro, get up. Let go. Get up.
An explosive 20 seconds.
You gotta relax, bro.
In uniform, Hamden Police Sergeant Michael Cirillo screams and lunges on top of suspect Vincent Tyrone. All of it caught on a North Haven police officer's body camera. You could see North Haven police pry Cirillo off and take him upstairs. Tyrone asks for an ambulance.
You all right? Nah, about an ambulance.
If you rewind the December 31st footage, you can watch as North Haven police investigate a potential harassment charge. That's when Cirillo walks in and attacks.
Hey! Let go!
In the police report, it states Tyrone recently threatened Cirillo's wife in text messages. It goes on to say Tyrone has a heroin problem and is dating Cirillo's sister-in-law. 20 minutes after the attack, you can hear him apologize to North Haven police.
Sorry about all this, man. That's what it is. Do something dumb and you suffer the consequences.
Cirillo had his department weapon taken away. He's charged with third-degree assault for this. Tyrone asked for charges to be dropped against him. Cirillo is scheduled to be arraigned on January 11th. In North Haven, Stephanie Simone, News 8.
And some new developments in the case of a Hamden police officer seen on body camera footage in an altercation with a man from North Haven back in January. Here is that footage. Charges against Michael Cirillo have now been dropped. However, authorities say he is banned from being promoted to sergeant. Cirillo accused of attacking Vincent Tyrone after police say he sent threatening text messages to Cirillo's family. Cirillo was facing assault charges.
Well, what do you guys think of this winner? He says, oh, you do things, you suffer the consequences. Like anything was going to happen anyways. Even if the charges weren't dropped. Doesn't matter what happened. Police aren't supposed to act like this. Well, and guess what? Another sergeant in Connecticut, supervisor, abusing the public. Hamden police sergeant accused of assaulting suspect. Like I said, guys, with all my run-ins, all the ones I've had this year, all my problems have stemmed from a supervisor. Hamden police sergeant is accused of assaulting a suspect in North Haven last month. According to the police report, the North Haven Police Department was investigating a potential burglary and harassment complaint at 4 Phillip Place around 11:45 a.m. on December 31st. The report states that North Haven police officers were standing with the suspect, identified as 38-year-old Vincent Tyrone of New Haven, when Hamden Police Sergeant Michael Cirillo entered and began yelling at the suspect. According to the report, Cirillo grabbed Tyrone by the shirt and chest and pushed him backward. Then both parties went to the ground with Cirillo on top of Vincent. Other officers had to pull Cirillo off Tyrone because he had the suspect in a headlock. The report states that Cirillo was yelling at Tyrone, claiming the suspect made threats against his family. North Haven police are investigating threatening text messages allegedly sent by Tyrone after a complaint filed earlier that day. Officers on scene said Cirillo was cooperative after the incident and turned over his duty weapon. He was charged with third-degree assault and released on a promise to appear. According to a follow-up report, on January 2nd, Tyrone requested to withdraw all charges against Cirillo.
An armed couple shot at by police officers sparked protests and rallies, and now 6 months later, one of the officers is now facing some charges.
State police arrested Hamden officer Devin Eaton this morning. Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Matt McFarland is live outside the Hamden Hamden Police Department now with the story. Matt?
Well, Denise and Dennis, for the last 6 months, Officer Devin Eaton had been on administrative leave. But now that he's under arrest, facing charges of assault and reckless endangerment, not only is he off the job, he's no longer getting paid. And we're told that within the next month, Hamden's acting police chief and police commission will decide whether or not he gets fired.
We cannot change the past, but we can all strive to do better every day moving forward.
It was a 6-month investigation and review that ended with Hamden officer Devin Eaton getting charged with first-degree assault and 2 counts of reckless endangerment. Back in the early morning hours of April 16th, Eaton crossed over into New Haven, looking for a car involved in a reported attempted armed robbery. Finding that car on Argyle Street, Eaton told investigators, "As he began to turn towards me, I saw the operator begin to raise his right arm up, and it appeared he was holding an object in his right hand, which I believe to be a gun." But investigators say the driver, Paul Witherspoon, never had a gun and was just following orders to get out of the car, with Eaton firing off 13 shots, 8 of them before Yale officer Terrence Pollock discharged his weapon, debunking Eaton's claim that he thought the gunfire was coming from the car. Witherspoon's girlfriend and passenger, Stephanie Washington, was hit but recovered, telling police, "I was trying to take cover from the gunshot, so I was leaning in between the driver and passenger seats, towards the back seat. It was like being in a nightmare. I thought I was going to die." In his report, New Haven State's Attorney Patrick Griffin said that even if an argument can be made that the first shot was reasonable, believing that Witherspoon had a gun, it wasn't reasonable to continue shooting when he retreated, never returned fire, and moved towards the passenger side, still shooting, knowing someone was sitting there. Quote, "He recklessly engaged in contact which created a risk of death and thereby caused serious physical injury to Washington. Additionally, the reckless manner in which the shots were discharged placed those in the immediate vicinity, including Paul Witherspoon and Officer Pollock, at risk for serious injury."
Thank God that there was no life lost, but we can't say that around the country because there's incidents that don't have the same results. So let us take advantage of a tragedy moving forward, that this would never, and we will not have to be here again.
Now, we did reach out to Paul Witherspoon's family for a comment, but did not hear back from them. We did hear from...
That's BS. This is the same department that last summer had the same speech about breaking Randy Cox's neck. Seems like this happens every year, every other year. New Haven, North Haven, the cities. It's crazy.
Attorney Greg Ceratelli, who is representing Officer Devin Eaton, and he said, quote, "His arrest sends a, quote, dangerous but clear and unambiguous message to the men and women who are sworn to protect the people of this state. You better be 100% right 100% of the time, and if you are not, you will face criminal prosecution."
What do you guys think of that? Isn't that crazy? He ended up getting 3 years probation and 450 hours of community service for that. That's it. Anybody else did that. Imagine how much time you get in jail. And then his attorney, "This sends a dangerous message." It's not like this was just some tiny thing, man. He literally unloaded his weapon into a car. And think about it, the crossfire. They were both shooting directly at the car. One was in front, one was in back. That's so dangerous. It says here, Eaton, 29, who fired 13 of the shots, including the ones that struck and injured Washington and sent her to the hospital, has been charged with 1 felony count of first-degree assault and 2 misdemeanor counts of first-degree reckless endangerment. He has been released on a $100,000 bond. Pollock, who fired 3 shots, all in response to Eaton's initial blasts, and none of which injured anyone involved, has not been arrested or charged. Even if the argument can be made the initial shot fired at Witherspoon was reasonable because Officer Eaton believed that Witherspoon held something in his hand. Griffin wrote in his recommendation that Eaton be arrested. It was not objectively reasonable for Officer Eaton to continue to move around the red Honda while firing his weapon into the passenger compartment, particularly in light of the fact that his own admission, Officer Eaton was aware of Washington's presence. Not only that, the dude was following commands. He was literally doing what they told him to do. Literally type into Google, Hamden police officers in trouble, and look at all the stuff that pops up. It's crazy. And it's not like it's far apart. Look at June 21st, 2023, December 12th, 2022. Like, there's a bunch of stuff. It's crazy. This just happened December 12th, 2022. And there's another one after this that's even newer. A Hamden police officer has been placed on administrative leave following an alleged domestic dispute that happened late Saturday evening. The Cheshire Police Department said Patrick McHugh was arrested early Sunday morning and he faces disorderly conduct charges in connection with the incident. In a warrant obtained by NBC Connecticut, police said they were called to McHugh's home around 11:30 p.m. on Saturday. Cheshire and Southington officers were called to the incident that happened in Cheshire. And what happened? A woman told police that she had been in a relationship with McHugh, claimed he hit her with an artificial Christmas tree during an argument. The two lived together with McHugh's 2 sons. The warrant states the woman claimed she was walking out of a room in the house when McHugh hit her in the back with the tree. This is sad too, because she didn't even want to come forward because of his position. The woman claimed she felt her story wouldn't be taken seriously because of his employment as a law enforcement officer, according to the warrant. And this is just June 21st, 2023, not even a month ago. Hamden High School resource officer on leave after serious violations of the rules. Hamden, the school resource officer assigned to Hamden High School, has been placed on administrative leave pending an internal affairs investigation, but few details were known as officials declined to comment Wednesday. In a statement, Board of Education Chairwoman Melissa Kaplan said no students were harmed in connection with the matter, which involved Hamden police officer Jeremy Brewer. Brewer was placed on administrative leave June 8th after acting chief of police Tim Weiger received information that indicated that Officer Brewer committed serious violations of our rules and regulations, Weiger told the police commission in an email Tuesday. It's kind of messed up. They can leave him in the school around all your children for all that time, but they can't tell you what he did. In a brief interview, he admitted to some of this behavior, Weiger said in the email. Hearst Connecticut Media Group obtained a copy of the email, which says union officials told Weiger that Brewer is expected to resign from the agency. Weiger declined to discuss this matter in detail, citing the ongoing investigation. So it seems like this department has just a long list of problems, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. It seems to be getting worse.
I'm outside right now, guys. But what do you guys think of that? All that stuff, it's crazy, isn't it? There's so much stuff. These dudes just keep getting in trouble. Why aren't they addressing it? Doesn't make any sense. Let me know what you guys think, because I think it's crazy. I think somebody needs to go there. Have a good night, everybody.